I'm afraid I got some bad news for you guys. Already Forest will be playing again. We're going to have to watch it again. We're going to have to go through the emotions again. So we might as well preview the match. Some people are calling it the Nuno Derby. Some people are calling it El Sakiko. I'm calling it El Crapico. Welcome to West Ham versus Forest. Hi guys, hope you're doing well and welcome to the preview for the two crappiest teams in the Premier League right now, in my opinion. Coming up, we're going to go through the Forest team. I'm going to do something crazy with the team. We'll talk about injuries, we'll talk about updates like that as well. And we'll talk about who really is the crapper team, because I don't think the best team's going to win. I think the crappiest team, the less crappy team, may not lose. I'm using the word crap a lot. I apologize. Make sure you've hit the like button. Make sure you've subscribed. If you want to grab your football jerseys, like this PSG one, I really like this one. A team that actually wins. Check out OK Jerseys. You can scan the QR code or click on the link that's pinned in the comments. If you use code FFTV, you get a further 8% off. And remember, always go a size up. All right, let's talk about it. We're rubbish. They're rubbish. There are a lot of reports, though, about Nuno that I just want to bring your guys' attention to. Nuno apparently is going to get sacked from West Ham. This is his, last game. Now, I don't know if he loses, he's out. If he wins, he stays kind of thing. But as I mentioned on Goal yesterday, there has been a lot of rumours about Nuno. And this is why I said he had to be sacked. Not because of what he did on the pitch for Forest, but because of what was happening off the pitch. We're already seeing all that BS happening over at West Ham. He's beefing up apparently with the ownership. He's rejecting certain players. He's not getting baby oil, Adama Traore. He's not happy about that. He's doing his deals with Mendes, his best mate. Allegedly, according to some West Ham fans, there's a little bit of skimming on the side going on those deals. And it looks like the board has had enough. And to be honest, from what I'm hearing, the West Ham fans want him out as well. But this isn't a case of, short-term pain for long-term gain for them, because they can't afford to lose this game, get him sacked, and then revive their season. If they lose to Forest, they're 7 points behind us and as good as down. But if they win, the points cut down to 1 point, and Forest is seriously bang in trouble if we aren't already. This game is pretty damn big. And I just don't have any faith in us whatsoever. My positivity on this game comes from, I think, maybe West Ham are slightly more crap than Forest. That's it. And this is why I think wholesale changes are needed on this team sheet, which we'll go through in just a second. In terms of injuries, the only one we know about is Callum Hudson-Odoi. He'd picked up a slight knock, so we're not sure yet whether or not he will be back for this game. Apart from that, I believe that everyone who played and was available for the, who did we last lose to? Aston Villa game should be around. Maybe not Callum Hudson-Odoi, because that deal is done and dusted. Let's see if Forest do some crazy stuff and still put him on the bench. But anyway, I want to go through this team sheet because I want to make a lot of changes. And before you lot kick off in the comments, hear me out, hear the logic, and hear the thinking behind it all. This formation is not working. It's just not working. 4 losses in a row. Losing twice to Everton as well. 6 losses in 7 or whatever it is. 6. Bloody hell. No, 5 and 6. Could be 6 and 7. Oh my God, that's crazy. But we need to change things up. Because I don't think the wingers are working. I think Hutchinson is working, but in general, the play isn't great from the wings. And we're not controlling the possession in midfield. I think Anderson is off form right now. Dominguez, honestly, I like him, but I just don't notice him that much in the last couple of games. And despite Gibbs-White's goal, I didn't think he's been playing great himself either. Jesus isn't scoring. The defense isn't defending. Milenkovic looks off it to me. Murillo's had a couple of stinkers. The only player who has any self-respect right now for me is, of course, Nico Williams. So what am I talking about here? I'm talking about wholesale change. I would love a 4-3-3, but Dyche isn't going to do it. So I'm going to go to a back 5 or a back 3. I'm going to put Sels in goal, and hear me out. I'll explain all why and how it will work. Now, there are a couple of variations we could do. We could do a 3-4-3. We could do a 3-5-2, if I've got the numbers right. We could go 5-4-1. There's so many options to do. And why am I doing it? Because I'll tell you what, I trust Einar and Nico Williams to be better wingers or wing backs and create better width than the likes of backward Callum Hudson-Odoi and Dyche, etc. And that's why I want to do it. And I also feel we're so shaky at the back that we might as well go to a back 3 that we know works. Now, ideally, if I was selecting the back 3, I'd go Milenkovic, Murillo, and probably like Jair Cunha. But it'll probably be Morato that comes in. Now, I've got to get rid of a player. You'll do for now, Gibbs-White. Off you go. Now, why do I want to do this? Because Einar is good at bombing forward and backwards, as is Nico Williams. But the other main reason is Murillo, for me, I would play in the middle of the 3. And I would push him up almost as the CDM, just to free up some space in the middle. Now, Dominguez, I'm not going to put in the middle there. I'm going to go with Douglas Luiz. He has to start for this game. Like, we have to be able to dominate a midfield with the quality of Anderson and Douglas Luiz in there. And if you can get Murillo there as your anchor CDM, pushing up and down in that position, and then having Morato and Milenkovic as your full anchors there, I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. So I would go for those 3. That would give us the 3-4-3 formation. You could have Backward and Hutchinson as an option. Or what you could do is play almost the Glasner formation, where you go a bit narrower. So if Hudson-Odoi is back, you could play him and Gibbs-White as more central 10s. So you go for a double 10, if you like, with him and Hudson-Odoi there. And then what this allows is the space to be created for Einar to get up and down and Nico Williams to get up and down as well. And I would consider playing them the other way. I just think Einar has a stronger, weaker foot than Nico Williams, so can play that left-hand side. And then maybe Jesus finds that he's got, more options. If he's coming in to drop the ball deep, he's got 2 10s to play it off. We then, when Forest are attacking, can almost attack in a 2-3-4-1 formation. There's so much of it that makes sense, and it's a formation that Dyche uses. Okay, not the 3-4-3 or the 3-4-2-1. He kind of likes to go maybe with a 5-4-1 style formation. But even that could work. If you go for a 5-4-1, for example, let's just put that in. Then what you could do is drop Hudson-Odoi, bring Gibbs-White in behind Jesus, and then add a Dominguez into the middle and really overpower that midfield. Where the hell is Dominguez? So you could go for something like this that really gives us the power there and then allows Einar and Nico Williams the freedom to kind of get up and down that pitch. I personally would prefer it with the double 10. I think Hudson-Odoi probably looks slightly better if he's going into the middle. So my choice of team would probably be this one to start us off with. A bit just different. Give Nuno something to think about. And we've seen this back 3 work before. Okay, it was in better times last season where we beat Brighton 7-0, but that was with a Murillo, Milenkovic, Morato partnership, where Morato was actually playing right centre-back, which was a bit weird. But anyway, so I kind of like this, and I think it gives us so many options. And we just have to change it, because the definition of insanity and madness is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting something different. So that's what I'm going to do, spice it up. Just see what happens. If it doesn't work, you know what? There's this crazy thing. They're called substitutions. You could change it at halftime. You could change it in the 60th minute. But if we just keep doing what we're doing, why should we expect different results? So that's what I would go with and just spice it up and catch West Ham off guard. Now, in relation to West Ham, Paqueta had missed their previous game with a back strain. I don't know if he's still going to be out for this game or not. We'll have to wait for what Nuno's presser says. And Bowen hasn't really been on form. And that in itself worries me because Forest help players that are out of form. The one that gives me the biggest nightmares is Callum Wilson. Scored against us, if I'm not mistaken, in our first game back in the Premier League when he was at Newcastle. scored when Nuno threw that game 3-0 at the City grounds. He could score tomorrow as well, which is worrying. He worries me a lot. And then you got the other players that we were linked to. Magassa in the middle. He had a stinker against Wolves, but Forest were close to buying him in the summer, so he could probably score. I don't know how this game goes. If he doesn't change it, if he leaves it as a 4-2-3-1 that isn't working right now, I worry. I do. But maybe for me, Nuno owes us. He owes us big for what he did against Harry Potter at City Ground. That was unacceptable. That was back when we were good. We'd just beaten Brentford. We'd just drawn with Palace. And we'd come up against a West Ham team that were on the floor. My score prediction is this. I have absolutely no idea what's going to happen. I'm going to predict 0-0. Because I think the happy clappers would be able to spin that as a good result. I don't think it is. Not with the state West Ham are in. Because I think if we can put 7 points of daylight between us and them, they're down and they're done. And that will break their spirit. But Forest never seem to have the ability to do that. Maybe, just maybe, Nuno will remember where his loyalties are. Get your score predictions in down below. How are you feeling about this match? I know I'm being a little pessimistic, but I'm trying to come up with solutions, and I think that team works. Would you go with my team, or would you stick with the back four? Let me know in the comments. Please don't forget to hit the like button, and make sure to subscribe as well if you are new. And make sure you check out the sponsors, OK Jerseys. Get your football shirts, use code FFTV for 8% off. And come on, you Reds.